is not moving.
Yeah, this is making it a little bit difficult.
Shadow. Yeah, come here, sweetie.
Yeah, he's just like, no, I'm going to lay right here. Cats are so helpful.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'll get him to move.
Okay.
There you go.
Hello, everybody.
This is going to bring the kittens. And here she comes. Yes, Azrael.
Hello from St. Louis.
Howdy, St. Louis.
Hello, hello.
Come on, Maple. Dear Lord. It's like a cattle call. It's just, you know.
All the kitties come running.
The only way to get Shadow out of your spot, and then that means everybody else is coming.
Pan over for a moment.
I have to show Maple where the food is.
Cats.
There, Maple,
all
the food's
cats.
right there.
Is that back where it should be?
All right.
I think that's where it goes.
All right,
Okay.
I've fed 4 cats. Oh.
Just wondering if you have any St. Paul Saints jerseys in your vast collection.
Closest I would get would be the Minnesota Fighting Saints, so I'm going to say no. I have a WHA Minnesota Fighting Saints, though. So if I ever meet John Garrett, I have to make sure I'm wearing that.
Shadow's going to town on the snacks. He inhales them.
You
have to spread out the treats. You like sprinkle them all over, and then they can't just because that's what they do.
Well, and
kinda
because
like
4 of the cats
do.
love treats, it's just
I'd
insane.
Say 3, because Maple likes them, but she doesn't come for them.
Yes, she does. She's in here now. She followed her sister in.
But like comparatively,
well, nobody eats like Azrael does. She's
and then
puking up gym mat
Pixel
again.
doesn't like treats.
She started eating yoga mats again because she's an orange cat, and that's what you got to deal with.
She's special.
She is dingy.
She's a special cat. Do you think Canada will catch up with the other countries when it comes to goalies?
Well, see, with Canada, it would seem, and I did a video on that last year, that the importance hadn't been put on goaltenders in Canada the way that it had been in other countries. Yeah, Canada will catch up. It's just going to take some time.
Oh, nice top. Thank you.
She actually made that. So I ordered the T-shirt
and
she altered it.
Tell.
So if you're looking on the Canucks store, that's not how they sell it.
I chop up all my clothes, much to Shannon's.
I don't chop up any of my jerseys.
That one,
that
it
won't
took
surprise
a while
anybody.
When we, after we got together, it took a while for him to realize that if he bought me a shirt, I was going to be cutting it up. I do not wear regular, like, boxy men's shirts ever.
But they're flattering.
They are not. They are not. If you have a boxy shape, maybe. I do not have a boxy shape.
I'm pretty boxy.
I have a very...
She's foxy, I'm
feminine
boxy.
shape.
So foxy boxy.
That's it.
Yep.
Why isn't the capital key on a computer capitalized? Okay. Had to do a double take last week after seeing Yvonne on the Rogers Arena Instagram.
And Facebook.
Weird, eh?
And Facebook.
That was bizarro. Yep, that was
it's a good
weird.
picture.
That was weird. Yeah, they approached my daughter and I and asked if they could take a picture of us. And she was, of course, thrilled because, you know.
Did you show Adelaide the picture?
I didn't. I should have.
Really? Should have been so happy.
Did I? No, I did. I did, sure. But I don't. That doesn't mean anything to her.
No.
Like.
It's just a picture.
Yeah, it does it.
We take her picture all the time anyways. So.
Well, yes. So
she does it for testing.
I do all the pattern testing and everything. So she's used to it when I'm like, okay, I need a picture. Like, okay, can you put your arms down, please? Nobody stands like that.
She ends up being a model. We'll know where it started.
I don't think that would happen.
I don't know.
She's my forest fairy. That's what I call her.
She does like the attention, though.
I did not neglect to tell you that there was a live stream. I told you this morning. I told you what time it was at. Just because you forgot doesn't mean I didn't tell you. All the NHL jerseys behind you. That's not all of them. What's your most favorite obscure jersey that you have in your wardrobe?
Obscure. I do like the purple Orlando one. That one's really nice.
Yeah. You were really excited when you got that
one. That one's really nice. Obscure is tough. I will be doing so. All right, I've done 20 of the jersey collection videos that we'll all be posting while we're on vacation. I'm talking, and I'll talk to you in a minute. And so in the collection videos, I go through a lot of the stuff that I have, and I will also be doing, and these are the videos I'll be doing when I get back. I'll be doing one on the non-NHL jerseys, so I'll put them all in a rack and go through them, and I'll get into the obscure ones at that point as well.
Is 35, 45, 80 a realistic line for DeBrincat?
That would be a realistic line if DeBrincat has the chemistry right away in Detroit that was elusive for him in Ottawa this past season. He just it was close. He was still generating opportunities, just the finish wasn't where it was in Chicago.
Studio tour. Mean of the set?
This is it.
It's not.
It's this one room.
They don't ever see that wall. That wall is really fun.
I did the video where I was the entertainment guy, and spoiler alert. And I went around the room and showed all the stuff that I don't normally show in videos.
Go. Yeah, he does. We've got Canucks pictures, like frame pictures that we get at the arena on that wall, behind the TV, and then over there we've got a bunch of the team banners with the history of their logos and the puck display.
And then by the time this season rolls around, I'd like to have it where I can just wheel the computer, turn the computer around to whatever direction and have it all set up and good to go. But there's some decluttering that has to happen first.
Didn't think there would be a stream tonight because of SummerSlam.
I'm not watching it. We've had problems with our TELUS. And then I was going to watch it on Sportsnet now, and they're like, nope, you're not eligible. I'm like, fine, all right. And then I tried to download the WWE app, and for whatever reason on the PlayStation, I can't download it, probably because I'm in Canada and it's an American app. So WWE didn't want me to watch SummerSlam. They weren't interested in me watching SummerSlam. So, all right, feelings mutual. I wipe away a tear, and I'm fine. I don't need to see SummerSlam.
Do you have any SHL jerseys?
I don't think I do. I don't think I have any Swedish jerseys. I have the one for the EIHL. I have a Czech jersey. I know I have a Finnish jersey because I ordered that one last year. And then, there's a couple of other ones from overseas.
Do you guys go to Kindersley Kippers games at West Central Event Center? I don't know what the Kindersley Kippers are or West Central Event Center. So I don't know any of those things.
I'm going to say we haven't done that. No.
I don't know what sport that even is. I don't know. Which skate jersey is better in your opinion? The Adidas one with white in the logo or the newer one without white in the logo?
I went through that in the Canucks video I did the other day. I don't really care. I know Canuck fans get all worked up. Honestly, they had the Adidas Team Classics where they didn't have the white in the Canucks logo. So what they're talking about is just over the S, there's white in the original logo, but when the Adidas did it, they didn't have white over the S. I didn't even notice till people got mad when the new third jersey came out and it had the logo the same way. But the Adidas Classic had been out there for a year and nobody said a word. I don't think it matters. I actually prefer the new one, which doesn't have any white in the background at all. It's just very basic.
When there's one game on, do you watch it on your computer or the TV?
TV, because I'm taking notes. During the playoffs, I would have one on the TV and one on the computer at points. But yeah, generally I just watch it on the TV.
Why are you talking about WWE? Because somebody asked a question about it, and we don't talk about hockey.
Why are you? I thought it was why aren't you?
No, why you talking about WWE?
And I watch it, and like on the Entertainment Guy, I do videos talking about it. I did a video just this past week talking about wrestling. Since I posted the video about the end of Too Hot to Handle, I've lost subscribers on that channel, and I'm not surprised. I just kind of went, yeah, that tracks. I wanted to talk about the finale and the fact that the person that won the money was the one that cost everybody money.
Yeah.
That
Isn't there like
she
2
cost,
seasons that we've seen that?
like she cost them $48,000. I looked it up.
It's crazy.
48 grand, and then they give her the jackpot after she cost, like, I don't, and now, for best citizen in town, Jerry comes up here. Didn't Jerry set the building on fire? Yes, but he stopped setting buildings on fire. So we think you should recognize when he stopped setting buildings on fire. I don't understand that. I don't get it. So if you go on the show, make out with as many people as possible for the first few days, and then stop, and you'll win the money.
Sources tell me that Shannon is a closet insane clown posse fan. Mad respect for the Juggalo love.
I'm really not. Insane Clown Posse, I think there was one song of theirs that I liked. I did admire that they had the courage to try wrestling. They actually were in ECW and tried WWE. And I mean, being willing to take a chair shot, I have to have respect for that, but I was never a fan of their music, really. Cypress Hill, on the other hand, absolutely. And that's in that same era.
How many NHL team hats do you have? It's a lot.
So this
It's
collects,
a lot. You
that
see
collects,
all
this
of these,
collects.
and you guys can't even see them. It goes.
There's
it's
3
the whole wall.
Calaxes, and it's all
Full.
hats.
It's full of
Yeah,
hats.
these are hats. I call them Calaxes. They're from IKEA. So,
who has the best or least intrusive ad patch in the league? That's something we've actually talked about when watching games.
Vegas isn't too intrusive.
It's not. Some of them really stand out and some don't. And I think the ones that don't stand out so much are like one color.
The worst one is Minnesota.
Minnesota is
the Tria. It's so just, and I mean, obviously Montreal's is kind of obnoxious in that Montreal jerseys shouldn't have an ad on them.
Rainbows and sports don't mix. They clearly do. Ta-da!
Rainbow colors behind me here. We got green, blue, purple, yellow, orange, white.
So they do.
Everything.
Otherwise, it'd be really boring.
Yep.
Rainbows mix with everything, though, so it's all right.
When I worked at summer camp, we used to have we would do the art where you had various colors of sparkles. And then you'd have the leftovers. So I was like, well, why don't I just mix?
You mean glitter?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, I was
so mix. So the extra glitter was like, why are we throwing this in the garbage? So I mixed it together. Throw it.
That's why you always glitter on a piece of paper.
I mixed the glitter together and I made rainbow colors. Well, all the kids wanted rainbow colors.
Well, yeah.
And then the old lady that was in charge of it came over to tell me off because that's not what the assignment was. And I was like, but they like the rainbow colors. Well, they're supposed to use solid colors. I'm like, but they look at these kids. They're going nuts for it. Well, now they're intentionally mixing colors. And
that's the point of art.
Glitter. What do you want them to, like, you want to just throw it all out? So
that's how art works.
And that was back in the early 90s. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And all the kids that were in that camp, they'd all be in their
late 30s, when I was younger,
40s now.
when people would ask me my favorite color, I would frequently say that it was rainbow and glitter.
See, my favorite colors.
And now my daughter says that.
Red and black are my favorite.
Rainbow
colors.
And glitter. Those are my favorite.
Well, we're going to Vegas, which there's a lot of glitter in Vegas. So lot of glitter. And there's a lot of glitter in Disney. So
yeah, because glitter makes everything better.
We're kind of set.
Rainbow and glitter. Everything is better with rainbow and glitter.
We're going fun places.
Which is why the Vegas jerseys are so fun. It's kind of like glitter, but not really. Almost.
If only they could make it so they weren't scratchy.
I know.
That gold jersey
is so uncomfortable.
What would you give me to wear the gold jersey in a meetup and not wear it?
Oh my gosh! Ow, no, I wouldn't do that. Your poor nipples.
I was thinking more along the lines of my entire chest would be red.
But then your nip, that would really hurt the nipples.
So I just get tassels, right?
Yep. There you go.
How popular would that make that video be for the meetup?
Hold on, I gotta change which jersey I'm wearing.
Like you'd load up the meetup videos, people like, what is this? What am I? Do I want to continue this video?
Oh my goodness! When are you going on holiday? Thursday. 10th.
So I've been pre-recording videos. Currently, I have 30 videos that are pre-recorded that will go live on the channel while we're on holiday. So 10 more, and then I consider myself to be all set. That way I don't have to do videos on any given day that we're on holiday.
Yay!
I will likely do I will do news videos when things happen, of course.
I'm
I'll
so
do some
excited
shorts
that
while we're at
Shannon's
Disney.
doing that. Yay.
And yeah, and because I did shorts while we were at Disney last year, so or in February.
Yeah,
we were there late January, early February. Gonna be a little warmer now than it was in January.
Just a tad,
just a bit,
tad warmer.
But after 3 days in Vegas, it's gonna be like, this is nice when we get to.
Why is it? Okay,
what did you do wrong?
It was popping up with side little thingies for me to take everybody's comments off, and it wouldn't stop. Yes, please don't post in all caps. I don't like being yelled at, so I don't read questions or comments when people are yelling at me. I don't even scan it. So what's the difference between vacation and holiday? Same thing.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
I just usually say we're going on holiday, though.
But we're also
say vacation.
We're going to be doing videos while we're at the Honda Center too.
Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of fun because we're going to the Honda Center for a tour, and so that'll be fun.
It will be. There you go. Oh, are we doing anything in Vegas?
We're not there very long.
We are not very, very long, but we do have a few things planned. We're going to go see the Tournament of Kings, which we've never done. Yeah. So that'll be really fun. That's the Saturday night, right? Or Sunday night? That's when we fly in, remember?
Okay. All right.
It's the night that we go in. So that's on Thursday, and it's like at 6 or 6:30. Okay. So we'll have time to walk down to the Excalibur for that.
So we're staying at Aria, but when you go to Excalibur from Aria, you can stay inside for most of the walk.
Part. Yeah, there's just that little area.
Yeah, it's a way to stay out of the heat. The trick with Vegas is to figure out, okay, I need to get there, and I need to do it without being outside as much as possible because it's really hot in Las Vegas.
What are your thoughts on jersey fouls?
Jersey fouls, it really depends. So if it's a player that never played for that team, I think it's just silly. It's ridiculous. In terms of other jersey fouls, though, like, he never wore that jersey, so it's a foul. It's getting so hard to find CCMs and Reeboks. If somebody wants to take a brand new Adidas and put a name on the back from the 70s, I don't really have a problem with it.
Wait, stay safe. Vegas is terrifying. What part of Vegas are you going to? That's
not
terrifying.
In the Strip is fantastic.
We don't go in any back alleys or
and that's the thing.
Parts of Vegas.
We know
we really do.
As soon as you get off the Strip, it changes. So we do not get off the Strip very much. Next time we go and have a longer trip, we'll go to Fremont. But again, Fremont, you don't stray.
Been anywhere in Vegas that I felt uncomfortable. Yeah. Even if I was walking by myself, and I've walked around Vegas quite a bit by myself because when we used to go, Shannon did not pre-record videos.
Nope.
I'm really glad he does now. And so I would walk around for several hours by myself, and I've never gone anywhere I didn't feel safe. But the casinos have a lot of security because casinos. So
and
if you stick in the area,
we watch. We make sure that our stuff, like we have a bag with us that we always have on the front, so we can't get pickpocketed either. So
right. Sorry if someone already asked this, but OMG, Yvonne's shirt. What? Thank you. Isn't it fun? Even Gabriel came into my room and he was like, "Oh, that's so fun."
Did you send it to Chelsea yet?
I didn't think about it until you told me, and I had to make myself tea.
Because Chelsea's going to want one. You're going to have to make one for her.
It's super duper easy. Sometimes Canada is like UK, sometimes like America. Very true.
I would say we're
very true.
But culturally, I think we're closer to the UK than we are to the US.
Agreed.
It's closer now than it used to be. When I was a kid, it was very much, this was still a British colony feel to it. It's not as much of that now as it used to be, but yeah, it's kind of a mix of both.
Who's your favorite play-by-play announcer, past or present? Mine has to be Doc. He seems to be just excited about hockey whenever he was the announcer.
Doc Emmerich, excellent play-by-play. Bob Cole in his prime he was the guy. He was the voice of hockey in Canada. If I was old enough, I'm sure I would say Foster Hewitt, but my generation, I would say Bob Cole. A lot of the greatest goals in the game in Canada called by Bob Cole.
don't visit gold and silver pawn shop. We don't go to pawn shops.
We really don't. Yeah, we don't go to pawn shops. Although my friend Tommy, if we could go out and see his store, that'd be fun. But I'm not sure how far he is from the strip. I'll have to message him.
Would
Maybe
he
he can-
possibly be able to come towards us?
Well, I can message him and ask him.
How many NHL arenas have we been to?
4.
4.
Well, we
So
were
for
outside
fun.
of Seattle, so I'll count
Oh,
that.
okay. I was like 4. That'd
If-
be why we haven't been.
For
inside
me,
Seattle.
if you counted Rexall, which was still the Oilers building at the time I was there, it would be 4. Although I didn't see a game, I saw Ramstein. We've been Anaheim, Vegas, and Vancouver,
right?
and that's it.
Yep.
And at this point, looks like that's going to be it for probably another year minimum. But once the kids are all grown and gone, which shouldn't be that much longer, probably 2 years, then yeah, we'll be able to do a tour of the buildings.
Right. Shannon. Oh, what tea? I made myself just peachy. It's a peach.
Just peachy is fantastic. That's my favorite.
It's a good iced tea.
So I'm sure she made some for me too because she knows it's my favorite.
What? I didn't hear a thing you said.
I said I'm sure you made some for me because it's my favorite.
There is some in the fridge. I made a picture of it. If you want some, there is some in the fridge.
It's not here, so.
Well, it's still warm. I had to put ice so that
it's Schrodinger's iced tea right now.
Do you think you'll ever come to Montreal and the Bell Center?
I hope so. I would love to go to Montreal. I'd love to go to La Belle Province. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My French is not as good as it was, say, 30 years ago when I was in high school, and I took it for.
I used to talk to my grandma.
10 years I took French. So my French is rusty. You'd have to speak slow. I can still understand mostly.
So
when
much
I watch
easier
on
to
TV.
read.
Like if I watch a
I
hockey
can read
game,
French, Paul.
If I watch a hockey game in French, I know what's going on based on, I catch enough of the words to know what's going on. But I don't know. Maybe I need a Babbel subscription, and I can learn enough of the languages to get by.
We've only been to the Canucks Arena, Anaheim, and Vegas.
T-Mobile. Yeah,
that's it. So we have not been to any others. That's all.
It feels wrong. I haven't been to Boston or Dallas. At one point, I wanted to do Vegas, then Dallas, but then the pandemic shut everything down for a couple of years and threw those plans off.
We have a meetup tomorrow.
Yep. 4:30.
I always put the event.
4:30 is the start time.
Good to know. I always make events for meetups on Facebook. So if you go on Facebook to the Hockey Guy in the events, you will see when the meetups are. There is one tomorrow, and then we have one when we are in Anaheim on the 16th Wednesday, which I do not have the time or location yet.
I'm waiting to hear back from.
Hoping 6 p.m.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from my contact in Anaheim about they apparently have some street hockey rinks in the area that the Ducks have the rights to, and so we're going to go through and see if we can do that. If we can't, we can meet up for food like we did last time.
You should do a visit to the Saddle Dome once before it goes away. LOL.
It'll be a while before the Saddle Dome goes anywhere. It's going to be at least a few years before we have to worry about the Saddle Dome going away.
How many points do you think the Hughes brothers will score this year?
Jack Hughes should get, I would say he had 99 last year. I think 105 is minimum. When I was doing my rankings for the top forwards in the league, I was very nice to Jack Hughes. Luke Hughes, he's a rookie. I would say probably 25 to 30 points. And Quinn Hughes, he should hit 80. I hope he gets the goals he wanted last season. I think 80 points for Quinn Hughes is well within his range.
We've thought about a Florida trip as well. We've thought about all sorts of trips, but
again, we got backed up by not being able to travel for a couple years.
And it's not super feasible.
This trip that we're doing now is the one we were supposed to do 3 years ago. So
Right. We had it booked and everything.
Yep.
But just like most people, we can't just go on holidays whenever we can't afford that, and we've got kids. So as cool as that would be.
Yep.
Talk me off the ledge. Tell me how Islanders win the cup soon.
They're hardworking. They are a very good defensive team. Their systems are good. The one thing is I think they need to loosen up the offensive reins a bit And with Sorokin's going to win you playoff games. A hot goaltender can win you a Stanley Cup. Sorokin is one of, if not the best goalie in the league. So that absolutely helps.
When is Arizona moving to Houston? Houston Aeros soon.
We will know what's going on with the Coyotes at the latest on January 1st. They want to have it decided before that. There are numerous locations, apparently all in Phoenix, that they've been looking at. And the reality is that if they can't figure this out in Phoenix, that would probably be the end of that. And then they'd end up going to Houston. But they're being given, basically, this is that Hail Mary opportunity for them. We'll see how they do.
What are your favorite teams?
Vancouver, Boston, Dallas. That's the reason I have Vancouver on this side and Boston on that side, because Vancouver's my favorite, sadly. Boston's, and again, sadly, because it's just heartache from 1981 until 2023. It always ends in heartache. So I'm going to pretend to be surprised when it hits the iceberg this year. It's just a matter of when.
Can you call Gary and see if he knows any updates on EK65 trade?
I would love to. I think that what's happened this summer is that we saw some trades early and it looked like it was going to be a really busy summer. And now we're seeing just rumors and speculation everywhere, but I haven't seen anything concrete. It looks like most of the NHL reporters are kind of in quiet mode. It's off season. They're enjoying vacation. And I think general managers are as well. I saw one post the other day that the Canucks have basically closed up shop for August. So any moves we expect from the Canucks probably won't happen until next month at the earliest.
Did you two meet through hockey? Nope.
No.
How did you possibly go about explaining the depth of your fandom? We definitely didn't meet through hockey.
No. So they had this auction, and I was up for $5. Yvonne actually got me for $2.50. There were no takers at $5. She asked me too whether or not I could handle an oxen yoke.
Shannon was a war bride.
she had this farm set up that was, I mean, kind of nice. The oxen were kind of mean, but it was a good learning experience. Built up my shoulders a little bit with that. I always thought that using me to replace oxen was kind of mean.
Why
but
would I have oxen?
that I asked you that a million times and you just
I
wouldn't
barely
answer.
had a yard. My yard was tiny.
That's what I said, and you just wouldn't answer. You just laughed at me. So eventually she sold the oxen for meat, which I thought was wrong at the time, and I still do. But here I am, and it was, she said, the best $2.50 she ever spent.
You're such a dork.
That should be a t-shirt on the shop. THG was the best $2.50 I ever spent. Yvonne, 2016. Well, that's when we met, 2016.
Anyways, okay. Do Doughty and Kopitar get another cup before retirement?
I would be very surprised if they don't. The Kings, they're close. The Kings are close. I've seen Fire Rob Blake in various places, but I don't think the Kings are that far off. The question mark becomes which goaltender is going to take them to that Stanley Cup, and I don't know that we know the answer to that. I'd be very surprised if it's Talbot or Copley, but Aiden Hill surprised us this year, so you never know.
I don't think they have talent or farm because of Lou.
Bridgeport, I mean, there's been struggles here and there, but farm teams don't necessarily, like, if a farm team does well, it doesn't necessarily translate to success at the NHL level and vice versa. Poor farm team doesn't necessarily mean poor NHL team. And I mean, I can go through and do a video on that as well during the off season and look at how the AHL standings have been, say, over the last 5 years, and whether or not there's any correlation with the NHL. I haven't really seen a correlation that I can find, though.
Why can't the Jets trade Hellebuck for a good first line player?
So Hellebuck, his cap hit this year is $6.16 million. Now, for the Jets, that means it's going to have to be dollar out, dollar in, and they need a goalie back. The Jets want to stay in contention. They do not want to rebuild or retool. They want to stay in contention for a playoff spot and perhaps a cup. And so a team that was trading for Hellebuck has to be willing to give up a goaltender. And I don't think that you can then squeeze in a forward as well, because then that you're going to end up being over the cap. So it's a tricky setup, and it is quite possible that the Jets will go into this season with both Scheifele and Hellebuck in their lineup.
Are we alone in the universe?
No. I have a more.
I don't think it's possible, but
I have a more whimsical view of life in the universe and all of this and our connection with the universe. I find as I get older, I get more and more philosophical about it, probably because I'm old. But yeah, I don't. There's no way. But there's no little green man in the backyard somewhere. Stop going to Vegas to go into that backyard. That family doesn't like it.
Can you imagine? Wouldn't that be
There
awful?
aren't. Oh, it was a 10-foot tall. Sure, there was. Yeah, all right, Phil. Whatever. Phil had an alien in his backyard. Has Phil been drinking? He had an alien in his backyard. So yes.
Do you make your kids watch Vancouver games with you? My kids and I watch every Rangers game together that we can up until their bedtime. P.S. You guys look great tonight. Do we make them?
This is my second go around, and I have never had a child to sit with me to watch hockey game other than
if we're at a hockey game.
Noah watched games with me when he was 2.
Oh, there you go.
And then when he was 3, he stopped because he found video games between when he was 2 and 3.
Well, and so we do take the kids to Abbotsford games.
But we don't make them watch games.
No. We don't generally take them to Vancouver games because that's so much more money.
It's a long
and we
trip.
Get home
it's expensive.
So late. Yep. Like when we go to hockey games, we don't get home till like 11:30.
We did take them to a preseason game last year.
But that was in Abbotsford, so that was better.
I thought we took them to Vancouver for
We've taken Adelaide to 1 or 2.
I thought we took her and the boys to one in Vancouver. And they loved it.
We've never taken Malachi to one in Vancouver, I don't think.
I know Gabriel went with us to the Avs game.
Yeah. I don't think we've taken Malachi, but that's a lot for him.
Between the noise, the visuals,
so
everything.
People.
Yeah.
But for TV, we'll have it on the TV. The boys will watch depending on who's playing. Adelaide will watch if she's doing other things, and she usually has to go put on a jersey for a team that's playing.
Usually for the winning team if she has that jersey.
Yes, and Malachi likes to watch if the Knights are playing. Otherwise, he does not care, but he likes Vegas. So he likes to watch Vegas games, and his best friend also really likes hockey. So they like when... like the playoffs, they really enjoyed having hockey on here, but both of them being special needs, they like having something else as well, because
the attention span's not there.
It's a long time, right?
So,
have no good prospects for future Lou setbacks.
I think the Islanders will be okay. Lou, he does tend to bring in the older guys, but I think the Islanders will be all right. I don't see any reason to be overly concerned at this point. Dobson's not that old. Wallstrom's not that old. Holmstrom's still there. Maybe Holmstrom develops this year. There are some prospects there and young players.
When do the Canucks become competitive? Play for Stanley Cups?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh at that question. Oh, they've broken me. This past year just broke me. I'm a broken Canucks fan at this point. I want to know the answer to that myself. I just have no faith in the Vancouver Canucks. None. I will root for them. I will cheer for them, but it feels like I'm rooting for the Titanic to pull into New York. It no matter how much I wish for it, I want to be wrong, but yeah, they made the moves they made on the blue line, thinking that they're not too far from the playoffs, and I don't know that that's enough.
Do you see Lucas Dostal becoming an elite starter?
I got to look at Dostal in the Anaheim-Vancouver game we went to. I really like him. He's good positional. He's a big goaltender, which is, of course, the number one thing now. I do think he's going to be a very good goaltender, and I think it's part of the reason why the idea of trading Gibson doesn't feel as fatal to the organization's hopes short-term as it otherwise would have. I think Dostal does have starter potential and could be quite good.
Our kids that are at home, we have a 10-year-old daughter, and then our boys are 16 and 18. There you go. And we've got, well, Shannon's got an older son.
I have
who
two adults
moved out.
that
I'm trying to think, that was
I
like
raised
4 or 5 years ago.
5 years
moved
ago.
Out.
5 years ago.
Goodness. I was totally convinced the Blues would never win in my lifetime. So
Right. Yeah. And that's why I was happy for the Blues. Even as a Bruins fan, I was like, you know what? They've been suffering longer than I have as a Canucks fan. I'm glad to see them finally win one. There were some gritted teeth there, but I was still happy for them to finally win one.
Have you ever visited New Orleans?
No. I would love to at some point in time hit Austin, Texas, San Antonio, New Orleans, do like a southern tour. The closest we get, we're going to be in a New Orleans-like portion of Disneyland. Does that count?
Yeah.
At all?
You know, the New Orleans district.
So
yeah, there you go.
You know, there's the band, and it feels like, you know, you've got the riverboat. So it's a version of New Orleans, right? At least I say New Orleans or Nolans.
We really haven't traveled very many places at all.
No.
Neither of us were in a position to even travel for a holiday until just a few years back. So we really haven't been many places. If you've asked us if we've been to, the answer is most likely no.
Like our first trip to Vegas, we had to go to 3 different hotels because it was pricey. So we started out at one, we went to another, then we went to another, and it was a matter of having to be really careful which one we went to because of pricing. So the Red Rock might have been an iffy thing though, because we were nowhere near anything. We were at the Red Rock.
No, it's pretty out there.
It is gorgeous, but you know, and I mean, it's a great view in the morning.
There, and when you don't have a vehicle or anything, we were just kind of there.
Yep.
You're here at this casino. That's it.
Yep.
Flames have Markstrom, Vladar, Wolf, and who is out and where?
Well, Wolf doesn't need waivers. So while I think Wolf is as close to ready as he's going to get, there's no pressure right now on the Flames to necessarily bring Wolf up. We could see Markstrom and Vladar remain as the tandem at least to start the season. And then if Wolf's still killing it with the Wranglers, maybe they make a move. Teams are going to have injuries. Teams are going to have issues. You might be better off waiting for then and then to make a move.
I see somebody is asking about fantasy hockey. We do have fantasy hockey on the Discord channel. Yep. That went a lot better this year than it did in previous year because we used the bots through Discord.
For the season previews, I want to do something a little more. I want to get into a little more of the fantasy side of it. So the season previews, I'll be starting after our vacation's done. I've got the big board that I'm going to be using for the previews. So I want to have that as part of those previews.
Somebody's asking how you make magnets. Trying to think, were those just Discord videos or not Discord, Patreon videos that you did on that?
No, I think I've got one on the channel too.
It's been forever.
So I get decals and stickers, and sometimes I attach them to cardboard. These are helmet decals that I got off eBay. So these ones here are the helmet decals I got off eBay or off the website that the eBay seller has. It's House of Hockey and Habs are Hockey. It's 2 different accounts, but it's the same guy running both. And then I just put them on magnet sheets. So the nice thing with these ones is they don't even really need the cardboard because they're thicker. And so I just put them on a magnet sheet and it works. And then if I use these ones, people get upset because it crowds the numbers together on the reviews. So you don't see this one as much.
Why did Gary curse Vancouver during the War of 1812? What did y'all do?
So the Thin Red Line, which was based in Vancouver, the Thin Red Line, you've heard about that, right? So Glass Tiger was part of that battle. And now Gary Bettman, during the War of 1812, clearly Not a huge fan of the red line. That's why they took the red line out under Gary in the National Hockey League. He's still a little testy about it. And yeah, the fact that the Vancouver was the keeper of the red line, which was their official slogan until 1984, that's been problematic for Bettman. Bettman not a big fan of anything to do with the thin red line, and he hates that song. So if you want to bother Bettman, by all means, you fire up Glass Tigers Thin Red Line. He'll end any press conference on the spot.
How do you pronounce asphalt? Are there multiple ways to pronounce asphalt?
I don't think so. It's asphalt.
I've never heard of another way. I do know that we
Maybe
pronounce
asphalt.
That would be so bad. We do pronounce some words very Canadian, and I've seen a few comments on how we pronounce certain words. But yeah, we're Canadian, so we do pronounce things.
Decal.
Yep, that one came up.
Decal.
Southern. Yeah, that's Canadian as well. So,
but I also say Newfoundlander because from Newfoundland you got to say it right. Newfoundland. So when I hear Newfoundland, I'm like, so you've never been to Newfoundland because nobody calls
people
it that.
Really call it asphalt?
Yes, I've heard that.
Have you?
Yep. I think that's an American thing, asphalt.
I have never heard that before.
But it's asphalt.
Yeah. Huh. All right.
But British say aluminium.
I say that every once in a while to drive Shannon crazy.
Aluminium?
I do. And you're like, no.
You're adding letters too?
I say it just to irritate you. Because it's funny.
What's the other one? There's a bunch that when we watch a British show, it just gives me like, I just twitch because I'm like, that's not how that should be pronounced. And you would think that being in England that they would have all the proper pronunciations because that's where our language comes from.
Oh my goodness. That's not how it works.
That's how it originated. English was invented in 1265 by the Anglican Church. You look that up, it'll tell you it's true. You won't find any books written in English before 1265.
Okay, more likely to happen in your lifetime, Canucks winning the Cup or NBA Whitecaps winning the MLS Cup?
Oh, I could, the Whitecaps winning in MLS, I could see that. The Canucks, it's one of those things that I'm just so used to failure and disappointment in Vancouver. I would be shocked if anything else happened. I want to be wrong.
I'd listen to Shannon read the phone book. Do you guys get phone books? We haven't got phone books for years. Wait, Shannon's a Yankee. How is he a Yankee?
Well, we are, our phrasing is far closer. The way that we pronounce words is far closer to the northern U.S. than it would be to southern U.S. So I understand where they're coming from. And then, we watch a lot of American programming, so that has an influence as well.
I watch way more British programming than I do American.
Why are we married?
I don't know.
It's weird. Well, while the kids are gone, we should probably get divorced.
Oh my goodness. He's a brat.
We got divorced last summer. You didn't get mad.
Oh, what about putting your own name and number on the back? Shannon has Shannon jerseys.
I have a lot of jerseys with my name and number on the back.
If you notice in our meetup videos, he's wearing jerseys that have his name and his number.
I don't have a problem with it. I would have had a problem with it 30 years ago, but you know what? The heck with it.
I don't. I figure if you're spending that much for a jersey, put whatever you want on it.
Yep. You're already spending through the nose for the jersey. If you want to put "this team sucks" on the back, you can do that. Absolutely. Yep. It's your jersey.
Right. Got a tiny phone book in the mail in June. Whose numbers? Was it all just advertisements for companies?
So,
because the last time we got one, the white pages were like,
I want to say 2018. Around there was the last time we got a phone book. And then we ended up with a bunch of phone books from neighbors.
Yeah. How did we get a bunch of phone books? I remember
we ended up with like 3 or 4. And I'm like, what is going on? And the kids
were like, look at these. They're so neat. Yeah, that's...
phone books.
So you can look up businesses if you don't look online, but you can't see all of the reviews and stuff. So why would you?
Right. Yeah.
I can't use
that's a first for me
businesses.
Too. That's a first for me. I always look at the reviews.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm having peach iced tea today, and it's really good.
So there you go.
made it just before we started the live stream. We have not watched the newest season of Black Mirror yet.
No, we're going to.
Yeah.
That's on our list. We have a lot of stuff on the list. So I haven't watched the second season of Warrior Nun yet. So that's how far behind I am on things.
Shan's Boomstick was my favorite Twitter handle. That's right.
I like that Twitter handle for me personally, but it didn't work. Once the channel blew up, it just didn't work.
No causing trouble, people. Come on now. Can you write sci-fi nonfiction books on the War of 1812? Oh my goodness.
I could do a War of 1812 book and just call it the real story of 1812. And we could put like people fighting in like war garb on the American side and the Canadian side. And then like you could have like an alien in the background, like big tentacles, and you could have like a Sasquatch in the corner too. Like, and that would be great. The rumble that settled everything, where Canada won and gave up land because we're just nice. We felt bad. So
okay.
Canada did so well in the war that they're like, we feel bad. You just take it. Just take that. Okay. We'll just back up. We'll just take everything above the 49th.
Okay. Yeah.
It's fine. We're sorry.
Whoops. What is Warrior Nun? It's a show.
What is Warrior Nun? One of the best shows on Netflix. Absolutely fantastic show. Greatly enjoy the show quite a bit, and I think that the main actress on that show is going to be a megastar in movies, TV. A lot of talent there.
I saw somebody created a YouTube channel that makes fun of people for making jersey fouls. Oh, that's too bad. I mean, there's definitely jerseys I see that people personalize them, and I think, why would you do that? But they bought the jersey. It does not affect me in any way what they did with their money. I can think it's dumb, but I'm not going to make fun of the person for it.
You put your own name on the back of a jersey.
I have not. Shannon has put my name on the back of a jersey.
You got that Minnesota one. Do I need to go get it?
I have never put my name on the back of a jersey.
Oh, Shannon no, you didn't do that. That was me, because I bought you a jersey and put your name on the back with the number 1 there, because that's something I would do.
Yes.
Sure.
British helped in 1812 too. Well, yes, because Canada wasn't.
See, that's the funny part is that whenever I hear American news mention the War of 1812, they say the war between the British and the Americans, and I'm like,
but they all lived here.
The British that lived up here became Canadians, so it's not like we came in and kicked all the British out after 1812 because they were causing trouble with the Americans. We were the British until 1867 was Confederation, right? Up until then, that's right. British colony.
I hate reaction videos in general. Agreed.
I can't do it.
I don't like them, which is also why I don't like a lot of those contest shows. What's the singing one? Forget. America's Hooters? Got Talent. I don't like. What's the singing one?
Hooters.
American Idol.
The Office.
I don't like those shows. Oh. Especially the beginning where it's just, here's my sob story, and then we make fun of them. I don't find that entertaining.
But if you're watching a cooking show and they show you the sob story, that person's going home.
Yes, we do play a game of, that person's going to be out.
Oh, they're really highlighting them.
They're telling us too much about their life. They're gone.
Dag nabbit. I was hoping they'd go further, but oh well.
The Voice. Oh, that one. I haven't even seen that one much at all, but I'm not big on the singing
competitions. I'm really not. Cooking I can do. The dating shows are ridiculous, so they're mindless fun.
Those we watch to comment on their clothes and how weird the whole situation is. The whole thing is weird.
With Farming for Love, the fact that
is so weird
that Gerline's farm is here, and yet every time they showed the overhead, it wasn't Abbotsford. I'm not sure what they were showing, but
I was trying to figure out where they were.
I was like, where are they trying to do this? Like they would try to make it look like she's out in the middle of nowhere, and that farm's in the middle of nowhere. It really isn't.
No.
So I mean, it's the outskirts of town, but they would always do this overhead shot that showed like all kinds of wildlife, and I'm like, where is that? That's not what they're actually filming at. But One of those things.
Oh, Chopped is a fun show. I used to watch that one.
You like that one?
Forever
And
ago.
Iron Chef? You like Iron
Yeah,
Chef?
Iron Chef is a fun one to have on just in the background. Yeah, I like a lot of the cooking shows.
Hell's Kitchen, Master Chef. We've been
Anything
watching
with Gordon Ramsay.
We've been
is
watching Ramsay's Food
ridiculous.
Stars. The Food Stars.
Yeah, again, if it
we're
has
a couple
Gordon
episodes
Ramsay,
behind on that
ridiculous.
one, I think.
Ridiculous.
So
they do the voiceovers, and it looks way more controlled. And there is the making fun of people and the ridiculousness.
When they make a team and they'll say, okay, you're the blue team and you're the red team. And I'm like, oh, those people are together just so they'll fight.
Yep.
You know those people hate each other. You put them on the same team and went.
Two girls that hate each other are always on the same team. It's really.
This is like, oh man.
What are the chances?
This is gonna get so ugly. And I'm like, yeah, so 5 minutes in, this is gonna be falling apart. Yep, there it is. And it's always two people that are very controlling and don't take or leadership well. They want to be the leader.
Yes.
And you put two people together like that, it's going to lead to conflict, especially if they have completely different views of social media and cooking and food and just life.
Yeah.
And so they always get stuck together. And somewhere I just picture Chef Ramsay laughing at all of it. And then he comes in and berates them because their ideas are stupid or whatever. And then off he goes again to start laughing again.
Oh, Kitchen Nightmares. That one's
Kitchen Nightmares was great.
And then what's there was
never
one?
Anything better than Amy's Baking Company.
That was crazy.
That was the funniest episode of anything I've ever watched. I must have watched that episode like 4 times. To this day, that is still my absolute favorite ever. That might be my favorite reality episode of anything I've ever watched. That was so good because it was so over the top ridiculous. She was just absolutely adamant that my pizzas are good, my food is good, you're wrong.
It's so bizarre. That show and
we're going under
Bar
help
Rescue,
us. This is wrong. No, it's not.
If you're calling in somebody to help you with your business, wouldn't the first thing you do be to clean?
And
all
listen,
of those.
And
all
listen.
of the Kitchen Nightmares and Bar Rescue, why do they not clean their place before the help comes? They know that's what they're going to look at.
John's going to step behind the bar and go,
any show, oh, this is disgusting.
And he's going to be throwing everything.
Why didn't they,
picks up the food and throws it.
Why
and then
would
somebody
you
else is going to have to clean that up. Good job, John.
Yeah, ridiculous.
John goes in the kitchen, just trashes it, and then walks out. Well, thanks, John. All right.
Ooh.
A little bit of a cleanup we're going to have here.
Gosh, that one time he threw stuff in the fryer. They're going to have to get that out soon. It's going to burn.
It's just so
ridiculous.
Then
I'll complain about the smoke detectors going off or something.
But, okay. It's so ridiculous. I love reality TV because it's not real.
No. Where is the Geek Inc. THG brand jersey? I need it.
We've talked about doing jerseys. We've had communication with a couple of different companies that make jerseys, but it just becomes tricky because I don't want to have product here that I'm selling because then I have to do GST and it's a bunch of paperwork with CRA. So it's a hassle. So I need to find somebody who manufactures it and sells it. And then I'd get a cut of it like I do with t-shirts and spring and all the listings that are on here. And then I'm not actually selling anything. It's tough with jerseys. I haven't found anybody yet that has a spring type setup, and they don't have anything that's jersey like either. So I'm still looking.
Ramsay and Taffer should do a crossover. That would be so ridiculous because both of them are so over the top. Both of them do all of the lots of voiceovers, or you can tell that the sound you're hearing is not the same as the video you're seeing, because if they show the side of their face, their mouths are moving different. Both of them do
Taffer's voiceovers are so ridiculous.
Both are ridiculous. That would be a ridiculous show.
I want to see a hockey game like that.
Oh my god!
Where they dub in hockey players saying things. You go, I don't think that's what he said right there. Just get every hockey player going. I agree, ref. That was the right call. Thank you very much. While you're reading their lips and they're swearing at the referee, they're yelling at the referee. But the actual audio on the TV should be, that was a good call. That was the right call. I'm going to go sit in the box. Thank you.
Thank you, kind sir.
Thank you.
MasterChef Canada is my favorite MasterChef. Agreed.
There's
are a
no
lot
mean
nicer.
People on MasterChef Canada.
They don't.
They don't have the
seem
jerk.
to do the
jerk judge.
Yeah.
They don't.
They're all kind and polite and encouraging. Weird. I've said that to Shannon many times.
When we watch the American version, every time they're praising food, I always say, "But here it comes." But however, and usually it's they didn't season it right. Could use a little more salt. Really? They took an hour and a half. They made this really, really convoluted dish, ridiculous dish, but it doesn't quite have enough salt. Whatever. You guys are ridiculous.
Diners, drive-ins, and dives. I don't mind that one.
I think I've watched that a couple
of
of times.
Huge fan of Guy Fieri though.
We should try his restaurant though. I've heard good things about that restaurant.
He doesn't like eggs, and I think eggs are nasty, so that we have in common.
I've heard his restaurant in Vegas is fantastic, although it's expensive.
Right.
We could always go in and check it out.
MasterChef Australia is next level good if you ever get a chance to watch.
We haven't seen that one.
Oh, I haven't. I do watch a lot of the shows that are in different countries.
Well, we watch
I
Zumba's.
do like to
Zumba's dessert.
That one's fun. I do like a lot of the other countries. I generally prefer the ones that are not American.
Zumba? What's his? Yeah, all right. Just Desserts. It's called Just Desserts. And the host and the way she pauses, the way she talks, is so ridiculous. And then there was the one season where we were trying to figure out whether or not she was pregnant.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. So Azrael is right there in the window at the top of that cat tree. Shadow, can you see him? He's right
Bear's
there.
Right over on the other cat tree.
Basket. And then we don't have Pixel or Maple in here, I don't think.
Maple's probably up in your room.
So we've got 3 cats on 3 different cat trees.
Yep. All the rabbits are outside, so I don't have a rabbit in here right now. She was in here most of the day, though. She being Cinnabon.
Well, somebody says the MasterChef Canada is good, but not as good as the Australian one. So I'm going to have to look this up. Maybe that'll be on Crave. Is MasterChef on Crave or is that on Gem? I forget.
It's on Crave. But
we'll have to look.
Maybe on Hey You, they might have that because we have Hey You now too, which is all reality crap shows.
Okay, I'll have to look.
So we'll look for it. We'll find it.
Oh, there you go. You can see Shadow's head.
Yeah, you can usually see Shadow in videos, but because it's a black cat and it's a dark background, he kind of blends in. You could usually see him under the board. The separation between the board and the bottom of the screen, you can usually see Shadow.
Do you guys own any clothes other than hockey stuff?
Outside of this room, it's t-shirts, shorts, pants, everything that's not hockey.
I don't have, okay. Compared to Shannon, I do not have very much hockey.
You can't compare to me.
I really do need to try and do a my hockey. See, should I do just jerseys or not? Because I have a lot of hockey
I think just go
sweatshirts.
through your favorites. I think just go through your favorite
And then
items.
I don't have a lot of hockey shirts
here.
other than Canucks and Jets. I do have a couple of other teams, but most of my shirts are Canucks and Jets.
Yep.
The Canucks I wear a lot because I go to the Abbotsford games, but I don't have nearly as many hockey. I have a lot of other stuff.
There's a lot of
mostly like clothes that I've made or shirts from concerts that I've made into something else.
But like when we're at Disney, I've got a lot of Star Wars shirts. I've got a ton of Star Wars shirts, like t-shirts. So I'm set for Disney that way.
What could you possibly be talking about on an August long weekend that is relevant? It's summer, take a break. We're taking a break. We're going to be going on holiday on Thursday.
We're going on holidays. We're having some fun. And one thing we learned during the live streams when we were doing them during 2020 is that, some people are introverts. They don't go out very much. Sometimes the live streams were their social interaction for that time. And so I like to do live streams during that. And it feels like it's a chance for me to interact with the audience a little bit. So why not? We had some time.
What's the weather up here? 106 in Texas. Send Canadian weather. Let's see. Right now,
we're at
24 degrees, which is.
Don't forget to carry the one.
What is that? 80?
I don't know.
Right? 80.
I'm gonna put it in Fahrenheit.
It's almost 80.
74.
That was close.
So we're at 74 right now, but 81 was the high.
Yeah, it was 80.
And tomorrow it's 80, then 79, 72 on Tuesday. So it cools down. So I'm going to be doing a lot of videos between now and when we leave. That's the funny part is I've got 30 extra videos recorded that are on the channel, but don't go live till we're on holidays. So it looks like, oh, he's probably been taking it easy. I've been actually doing a lot of videos over the last little while. So yeah, it's going to be raining when we leave. Or well, it's gonna be.
It's usually raining when we're leaving.
Actually, on the Thursday, it's gonna be 78.
It's nice.
So. But that'll be nice. And then Vegas is ridiculous. 107 right now Fahrenheit, and that's it's gonna be in the hundreds the whole time we're there. But then we go to Anaheim. That's Las Vegas, and then Anaheim, it's
close to here.
82, 83 every day.
A little bit hotter. So very similar.
And Anaheim. It's the same moist air we're used to, whereas Vegas is the dry air that we're not used to. So Anaheim works pretty well.
Do you enjoy chili con carne? How do you pronounce that? I don't. I like chili. Chili's great. Yes.
Con carne would be with meat.
I know. I know what it means. I'm just not good at pronouncing it, but I know what it means. It's good with or without meat.
Mm-hmm. Gusta mamacita. Mm-hmm.
Don't start that. How poor quality do you think the Fanatics jerseys will be once they come out?
We'll see. I want to be optimistic.
Okay, good. Got it. Thanks.
I want to be optimistic because, I don't want to see the quality drop. The made in Canadas we know are still coming from the same place, so that'll be fine. I do wonder if the replicas are going to drop. I'm going to be curious to see the logos and whether or not they keep the depth with the logos. I shouldn't need any of them. Hopefully,
there is chili without meat, and it's really good. I like to make my own chili, but I don't eat much in the way of pre-made food, anyways. And so when I make chili, I have a lot of vegetables in my chili. So it's all right without meat in it. But I don't eat a lot of meat either. I eat a lot of vegetables.
There were a couple of times I accidentally made hamburger helper and didn't put the meat in it. So it still tasted all right until I realized, oh, wait, I forgot the meat. I did that with tuna helper once, too, where I made it and forgot to put the tuna in it. So
I don't like
it was still okay.
Helper.
I need to make that for you. You need me to make it. You
No.
still have boxes upstairs of it, right?
I'm sure. I don't ever make it.
I'll try.
We probably do.
I'll try over the next couple of days.
Makes it every once in a while. I don't ever make it.
Yeah, we'll bring one down here and I'll try. We have ground beef, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a box.
Okay. So I can do that. I'll make you dinner.
THG undercover boss Yvonne dyes her hair and spends a day as an intern.
I think undercover boss. Yeah, there's nothing like Kylo though.
That's the best.
Kylo is undercover boss.
No,
both
you don't
episodes
put tuna
are great.
in chili. Oh my gosh, sorry, I saw that and that's gross. No, that's gross. No.
Matt sucks.
That's so funny.
Kylo's lightsaber sucks.
Great.
No, it doesn't. I think I saw it back here somewhere. Look at it.
Have you ever spilled something on a jersey and had the oh crap moment?
Yep.
Yes, and he runs to me. Yvonne, help me. He absolutely has.
During the 101 countdown, that Flames jersey had a snag. I didn't see it until I put it back on the rack. For eagle-eyed viewers, you'd realize I looked at the camera, looked at the jersey, looked at the camera like, oh, nuts. But I was already however long into it. I'm like, well, not restarting. But as soon as that was done, I ran the jersey to her like, I don't know what cat did this, but this is not great. And then she fixed it, which is why I keep her.
Shannon. Oh my goodness. Are you excited for Severance season 2? Oh, season 2 is coming out.
Although the production of the season has been halted by the strike, obviously. Right. But yeah, Severance is one of the if you haven't watched Severance, it's on Apple Plus. It is such a mind-bending show. It is very different. So well done. So well done. That the season finale, I was nervous the entire time. And that's always a good showing that, yeah, this is a really, really engaging program, is you get nervous for the people you're watching.
When you come to Texas, come to Dallas area for a meetup and a game.
That'd be enjoyable. Paige Van Zandt was posting videos from San Antonio. This Riverwalk thing, that looks absolutely fantastic. So I showed Yvonne, I'm like, we should do this sometime. Neat. So yeah, Texas has some stuff that would be a lot of fun to do.
Oh my gosh, 25 in Sydney, Australia the other day. It's winter. Well, no, that would be winter now. Yeah. That would be super hot. 25?
Well, because they're more tropical than we are.
Holy hell. But that's crazy.
Australia's
crazy.
Warmer
that's
than
summer
Canada.
Temperatures for us. I know they get really hot. Well, it also depends on where in Australia, but 25 in winter is insane.
Well, it's hot. That's why all the animals there are trying to kill everybody, because they're uncomfortable. Everything in Australia, including the plants, tries to kill you.
Yes, agreed.
And the cute animals are just there to distract you, while the nasty ones are coming up behind you to kill you.
Platypus are so cute.
Yeah, and you go over and you're like,
they're
cute
adorable.
And while you're like, look at the platypus, there's a whole bunch of crocodiles that are getting ready to take you down and just maul you. So that's how Australia works.
Oh, I had a cigarette issue with my Cane's third today. Oh my gosh. That's sad because that fabric melts so quick. Hopefully it wasn't on the logo. Put a patch behind it. It won't fray.
Right.
So there's that.
That's the one
if
thing.
it was small, it will not fray. So.
But I will keep your jersey in my thoughts.
Favorite U.S. cities you guys have been to? We have not been to very many American cities.
We love Vegas. We love Anaheim.
But even Anaheim,
Portland's nice to visit. I've been to Portland.
Disneyland, we haven't really traveled.
Seattle's a beautiful city. The traffic is kind of a headache, but Seattle's a beautiful city.
I hate driving in Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle can be fun though. We haven't been to very many American cities.
I'm trying to think of where else we've been.
Oh, are you sad about the Prime Minister and his wife separating? Well, I wouldn't say sad, but I feel for them. That would be so difficult.
It's tough to keep
going through that in the
public eye. And honestly, that's why when celebrities break up and people are all like, "Oh, look, they didn't make it." I'm not surprised.
It would be so hard.
I'm not surprised with politicians, celebrities, entertainers.
And with how people are towards politicians now, I think it would be that much more difficult.
The vitriol is definitely stepped up.
I feel bad for them. That had to have been a long conversation to decide to have that be public. Yeah, that would be really, really hard.
Yeah.
Separating is difficult for anybody. Doing it with everybody feeling like they get to comment on it would make it so much harder.
Yep, not easy.
Have you ever listened to Nightwish? Yes. Cool symphonic metal band, but thanks for all you guys do and interacting with the community. Love the channel.
Nightwish is absolutely fantastic. Really like them. There's another basically symphonic metal. I'm right there. I love them. Almost any Epica. Epica is the other one that I really like. Apocalyptica is very good. Apocalyptica's done some fantastic songs. Covers, but still really, really good music. Who else for symphonic metal?
I didn't hear what you were saying.
Well, I said Epica.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Did you say Evanescence? Because I would consider them in there too.
I guess so. Well, Evanescence is a little tricky for me because Amy Lee and I, we dated for a while. And it's been kind of awkward since then. Because I was a free spirit. Anyway, I couldn't be tied down.
That's how it went.
So I was like Amy Lee, and I always referred to her by both names because that's polite. This doesn't work. Canada does have
platypuses. Right? Would it be platypi? That sounds weird. Platypuses.
Or platypes.
Or is it platypus? The plural
it is
platypus.
Platypus. It is platypuses.
Really? That sounds. They're called beaver.
Like octopuses.
I think a beaver is a whole lot bigger, and they're softer, and
not the tail.
They aren't poisonous
because they put all of the really nasty stuff in the tail of the beaver.
Beavers are really cute. If you guys don't live where beavers
The
live,
waddle.
they
The
are
waddle for a
they-
beaver
yes,
is so
they are
cute.
so big and round, and they have these stubby little legs, and they just waddle.
Yeah.
And when they cross the road, they like to do like the geese do and just slowly cross the road and kind of meander. But it's this chubby little waddle, and it is adorable.
Yeah, they are. They're
Beavers are so cute, and they're super soft.
That's honestly
go pet
that's
beavers,
why
though,
she ended up asking me out
'cause-
on a second date, because she's like, you waddle just like a beaver when you're crossing the road. That's so cute.
Shannon.
I was
gosh.
allowed to take the tail off by the 4th date, but the tail was kind of unwieldy for those first
You're
couple of
such a
days.
dork. Oh my gosh. Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park's great.
Nothing wrong with Lincoln Park.
I saw them in concert back in
I never saw them in concert, sadly.
2001. They were with Metallica. That was great.
No, Lincoln Park.
I had to drive down to
band.
Seattle for that.
Yep.
Beavers are still mad about when people used to make them into hats. They're so cute though.
They are.
Yeah, we have a beaver that lives not too far from our house, and we get to see him every once in a while. Adelaide and I look for him when we go into one of the, well, there's a few in forests near us, but the forest near us, we look for him.
We've been told to go on the Huntington Beach Pier. I think we fly over it.
Oh, yeah, we had looked at that one year. I think that was our first trip to Disneyland. We had looked at going there on our day off because it's not.
It was out of our way, though, wasn't it?
Well, everything's out of our way when you're not leaving the hotel. We had looked at that once. We just don't ever have a ton of time.
Yeah. Thankfully, we got to see like the pier and all of the stuff in Los Angeles when we went along the beach. So we went to Muscle Beach, Venice Beach, all that stuff. It was great. So we can say we did all that, and we had all the pictures and videos to prove it.
Yeah. Adelaide has not been to Adelaide, though she knows where Adelaide is.
Yep.
Winning the President's Trophy is a curse.
Yeah, I mean, I've done videos on the President's Trophy curse. It felt like I don't really need to update that as of yet, but Boston belongs in that playlist of great seasons that didn't end in a Stanley Cup.
Crystal Mall in Burnaby. What's
We
the
haven't been to
Crystal
that
Mall
one.
in Burnaby?
I haven't been to that one. Because
I don't know.
Burnaby is
Metrotown.
Metrotown. So we go to Metrotown.
Yeah.
We could totally go to Metrotown before we go on vacation.
Why would we need to go to Metrotown?
For fun.
I mean, we could, but why would we go to Metrotown?
Would you rather go to Seven Oaks?
Are we checking our mail? I mean, I don't.
We should go to Cottonwood. Cottonwood's a beautiful mall.
Why in the no veto?
Nice big mall.
It is not.
It's gorgeous.
It is not.
I think we should go to
It's
Cottonwood.
in Central Burnaby. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, Cottonwood
It's right across from Metrotown.
Cottonwood's huge. Like Cottonwood just is. There's so many stores. There's so much to do. I'm kidding.
There's not.
I'm kidding. It's Chilliwack.
It's the lamest mall. I mean, it's not American mall bad. But
see, to me, I grew up in that mall. My first time in that mall was when I was like 4 years old, and it had opened not too long before that.
We always went to
And
Metrotown.
I loved Cottonwood Mall.
We just always went to Metrotown.
So anytime that the grandparents be like, well, we're going to the mall, do you want to go? Yes. And then it ended up with Grandpa at Sears. And I'd always like, why am I with Grandpa at Sears? This is depressing. He'd be looking at, he wouldn't buy anything. He would look at tires. He'd look at a bunch of car stuff. And I'm like, this is dumb. I don't know why I'm with Grandpa looking at all the car stuff. But at least I was at the mall. The Hot Wheels store was right next to, like the toy store was right next to Sears. So if I behaved, then Granny would take me into the other store so I could get a couple of Hot Wheels. So you laugh, but at one point I had 135 Hot Wheels cars. I was really impressed. And I would always get depressed when I would ask somebody, okay, I want Hot Wheels for Christmas. And I would get
like, the cheapy ones.
I get the 99-cent with the bad, the wheels.
Yes.
The wheels would fall right off. Sometimes you're taking them out of the package and it's like, Well, that's like Hot Wheels. Yeah, for 30 extra cents, you could have got me a
One
Hot
that
Wheels.
actually drives.
Look, it's like a BMW. It really isn't. It's not. And I would try to hide it was like there was one year that I really wanted Tonka trucks.
Oh yeah.
And so my mom couldn't afford the Tonka trucks I wanted, so she got a bunch of those Hurdle ones.
Oh yeah.
HERTL.
Yeah. I know which ones you're talking about.
And they all looked the same, and I was like, well, at least I have a lot of trucks. Neighbors all have those really nice Tonka dump trucks, but I have all of these Hurdles.
Oh, of course we've had beaver tails. They're delicious.
It's part of
They
being
didn't-
Canadian.
But they haven't had them. They didn't have them at Canada Day.
Well, because Canada
even
Day,
the
from what you
kids
told me, was
noticed.
kind of lame.
What in the world? Why is there not the beaver tail food truck?
Don't worry,
What's up with that?
I'll look.
Malls should turn into amusement parks. So many are half vacant these days.
I was
Not
talking
here,
to
they're not.
I was talking to Yvonne about it. It seems like now it's evolved to where instead of building a mall, they build like the entertainment district idea where
Yeah.
you have everything in one location. I think that's going to eventually replace malls. But yeah, Metro Town is not hurting financially that I could tell. They're still pretty busy.
Nah, yeah, the malls are doing fairly good here.
Yeah, no results. Nobody's got any.
Have you ever thought of taking your hockey passion to the next level and get into the hobby side? Hobby side?
Not really.
What's the hobby side?
I mean, if they mean hockey cards and if they mean all the like really in-depth collecting, not as much.
We'd like to stay away from the expensive part of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh, people that don't know what beaver tails are, they are not from beaver. They're
No.
like the American elephant ears. They're similar to
You
elephant
lost me
ears.
there. I don't know what elephant ears are.
They're very similar to beaver tails. They're very similar, a little bit different, but similar type of like carnival.
So can you get them outside the Dumbo ride?
I don't think they have any elephant ears at Disneyland.
They're missing out then.
2009 was a good year, yes or no?
2009, well...
Trying to think what was in 2009.
Trying to think of what I was doing in 2009.
Tiny little boys. I got divorced in 2009, so that was a hard year for me. that was a rough year for me.
2009. I mean, you know, the 2000s went by pretty fast for me, and 2009 was fine. I was employee of the month at my workplace September of 2010. So that was the best month that my workplace ever had. Well, because we used to tease. There was one coworker that I used to tease because I was employee of the month, and we always argued with each other. So every time she would try arguing with me, I'd say, "Hey, I was employee of the month of September of 2010," and then my best friend there, he had been employee of the month March of 2010. So I would call him over and go, "Hey, she wants to tell us how to do our jobs. I was employee of the month, weren't you?" And he'd go, "Well, yeah." And I'd say, "Was she employee of the month?" "No, she hasn't been. So you're not an employee of the month, so you can't really tell us how to do our jobs." Sorry.
I mess with my U.S. friends and tell them that we cut the tails off and sprinkle cinnamon over them. LOL. That's the kind of thing my mom does that a lot too. When I was younger, we used to mess with Americans and tell them all sorts of weird things about Canadians. My favorite was always the Americans put their hand on their heart for their different things. Their
anthems.
Yeah, anthems. Well, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Well, we would tell them that Canadians, you put your hand like a maple leaf and you put it on your forehead and then you sing "Oh Canada" like this. And they would totally believe us. And we're just giggling because it was really entertaining for us.
I know a friend of mine in school, he convinced people in the States that we walked polar bears and had wolves for pets. And...
Oh, yeah. We would tell them that we didn't have plumbing and the outhouses in the back. And they would just believe all of it. And we have snow for 10 months of the year. mind you, my family is from Burnaby, so that's not.
I always found it interesting,
but they believed you, and
like
it wasn't that far away.
It just shows how little importance Canada plays when that stuff all goes over. That Canada's not.
Well, mind
really
you,
viewed as
that
important.
the Americans that we would talk to were in Washington. So
Yeah.
we're not even far away.
Yeah.
But you've seen when we can go to Blaine and, oh, Abbotsford, where's that? 20 minutes away. We live 20 minutes. It's a large city.
Yeah.
And you don't even know where. Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, we used to do that kind of thing too. What were your thoughts on Jordan back in the day, and did you ever like his shoes?
I could not afford Air Jordans. Michael Jordan. Okay, I'm going to say this. I still think the best NBA player that's ever played the game. I know LeBron. I don't care. I think Michael Jordan, I know the game was different. Oh, they didn't face the kind of guys they do now. I still think Michael Jordan was the best player ever in the history of basketball, and that's my honest opinion.
Do you think the Canes just let Pesci play out the year at this point?
If they can't find a trade partner, you might as well. Pesci is an elite defenseman. I think that if they rush to trade him, it's a mistake. So, yeah, hold on to him.
Was it love at first sight?
No.
Well, I mean, look at him. Of course it was. I saw him. I picked him up in my minivan, rolled up, picked him up.
Back.
I was like, oh,
in the
look
back.
At that fine piece
I wasn't
of
allowed
man.
to sit on a seat until our third date. And even then, she put a towel down before I was allowed to sit down.
Shannon, I don't believe in love at first sight. I mean, there's lust at first sight.
We talked
for
about almost 6 months before we met face to face. So,
but our first date, we did know.
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
I was trying not to. I was like, we're just gonna be friends. Nothing's gonna happen. And she's just so darn cute at the concert, and she was like a little kid, and it was like,
because I was so excited.
Damn it.
And I was with this really cute boy, so.
And for me, I was so negative and dark and brooding all the time that it was nice to be around somebody who was really positive and upbeat. So I was like, you need that in your life. So I gave it a chance, and I'm still on the fence, but I mean, we're still here. So, You're
such a troublemaker.
Okay.
When we're in Vegas, we will be staying at the Aria.
Yep. And
in Disney, we're staying at the Grand Californian. I'm so excited.
That is going to be fun.
So excited. Can't wait. Okay. Sabres using Levi as the starter is a risk or reward?
There's a lot of risk to having a starting goaltender who's a rookie. Now, Levi's a well thought of rookie. Maybe he is excellent right out of the gate. My concern is that obviously Luukkonen is inexperienced at the NHL level to this point as well. And Comrie's coming off of a bit of a down year. And Comrie, we don't know what we're going to get next year. I really think for Buffalo, if they're going to get above the playoff line, they need, I think an upgrade in net is what they needed. And I didn't see that this offseason, but we still got a lot of offseason left. So maybe they're working on it.
It was oxen at first sight.
My shoulder still hurts from all that, She even had me like toil in fields that she had nothing to do with. She just drive me out to a farm and she'd go, yeah, till the land. And I'm like, what? I'll be back in 4 hours. Here's a glass of water. 4 hours. And if I didn't till the land, she'd just drive up, turn around and leave. She wouldn't even talk to me. She'd flip the bird and then turn around and leave. And I'm like, what was that?
Dork.
Then she'd yell out the window, "You're number one," as she's driving away. Just so disappointing. If I wasn't used to that kind of treatment from all my crappy jobs, I might have been upset, but still beat being at work.
Oh my gosh, Shannon. All right, will the Jackets make the playoffs?
Playoffs are a bit of a reach for Columbus. They would need Elvis to play like he did 4 seasons ago now. They need that defense to gel right away, and they would need Gaudreau to bounce back. They need all three of those things to happen to make the playoffs. It's not impossible, but it is improbable.
How do the Abbotsford Canucks look for next season?
Good. I'm glad they kept Juleson. I'm glad they kept Jet Wu. The blue line for them has been very good. Silovs, if he's down here, they're in good shape. But Spencer Martin's okay at the AHL level as well. There's some good forwards. They're not a stellar team, but they should have Klimovich again this year. And odds are, I think Podkolzin could end up down in Abbotsford as well. I think they'll be all right. They overachieved a bit this past season. I'm kind of optimistic.
Does Boston address the first center next summer?
I don't know what they're going to do. The Bruins, you can't replace Bergeron, and there's nobody on the market right now that can replace Krejci. I don't know how you fix that center spot, and it's why I expect the Bruins to have some struggles this coming year.
What are the chances that Elias Pettersson stays in Vancouver?
I have no doubt that the Canucks are going to be able to keep Pettersson. I'd be very surprised to see Pettersson go anywhere else. I think he's a Canuck for quite some time to come. But at any rate, we should get going. I do have other video stuff that I'm going to be doing for when we're on vacation. I'm going to do this evening. And we're kid free, so it gives us a chance to hang out, watch some TV, and
the boys left this afternoon, and I thought I was pretty clever. As soon as we shut the door, the boys shut the door, went out, and I just yelled "Woo!" And Gabriel turned back around and came in, and we were just both dancing.
So, but anyways, guys, we will talk to you again soon enough. And for anybody that we're going to meet in Anaheim, can't wait to go down there and meet you guys. And we'll have, as soon as we have the time frame for that meetup, it'll be posted on Facebook. So keep track of that on Facebook. We post on there a lot. And
we're going to try for 6 p.m. because I think that'll work for the most people.
Yep.
So.
So anyways,
that's the plan.
Keep your eyes peeled for that
Wednesday.
And thanks to everybody for coming out, and hope you have a great next couple of weeks. We'll be back home and doing live streams after it's all done. So thanks guys for coming out, and we'll talk to you again soon.